Episode 18. Then the man-eater responded in a completely unexpected way. He clapped his hands and laughed out loud, saying,
"You must be joking. How can I grant you this wish? My food means everything to me. I renounce my throne for the forest because of my food. How can I stop eating human flesh? Please ask anything else from me, anything else but not this."
Man-eater, people like you use pleasure as an excuse for doing evil things. By taking pleasure in such things, you miss out on the things that are the highest in life. The supreme duty for all of us is to make ourselves of benefit. You can only be of benefit if you have compassion for others. Hearing Sutasoma's words, the man-eater sighed apprehensively. He realized that there was no way the king would change his request. The man-eater felt so ashamed, he couldn't hold back his tears. Thinking about what he'd done to himself, he thought about his past and his stubbornness was gone. All that was left for him was fear and hopelessness, because he believed if he were to stop eating human flesh, he would surely die. He fell on his knees at the feet of King Sutasoma and pleaded,
"Eating human flesh is my staple diet. I can't stop eating human flesh, so please request anything but this."
Man-eater, people like you use their pleasures as an excuse for doing evil things. By taking pleasure in such things, you miss out on all the things that are the highest in life. The supreme duty for all of us is to make ourselves of benefit. You can only be truly of benefit if you have compassion for others. It's like an alcoholic who cannot stop themselves from drinking alcohol, even though it's poisoning them, even though they are sure to meet with suffering in the future because of their actions. In this world, the one who knows the difference between benefit and harm will refrain from all harmful things, even if they enjoy them. Instead, practicing righteousness, just as a patient must sometimes take bitter medicine if it is for their own good. Such a person will find happiness in the future as a result of their behavior. The man-eater sobbed with remorse and appealed to King Sutasoma to request something else, saying,
"I've left my parents and all the comforts of the palace to follow my chosen diet. How can I now grant you this request?"
"The wise never go back on their word. You told me you would grant anything I requested. It is now ignoble to break your promise. Didn't you say it yourself? Whoever offers to grant a request but later goes back on their word shouldn't offer to grant the request in the first place, and that you would rather lay down your life than to break your word to me. You should be consistent with the principles of a wise man. The wise sacrifice their wealth in order to save their health. They sacrifice their health in order to save their life. But they sacrifice their wealth, health, and their life in order to elevate their virtues." Just to bring home to the man-eater the value of the truth, King Sutasoma reminded the man-eater of the past when he was still the man-eater's teacher. If one has learned the Dharma from a wise teacher who has helped one overcome one's doubts, one should always cherish one's friendship to that person. Seeing the man-eater was still listening, he continued, "A student should especially never go back on their word to their teacher. Never forget, I was a teacher behind your success at Master Disapramoka's school. Furthermore, I've been kind enough to recite the 100th teaching for you, therefore don't betray my trust in you." The man-eater kept listening, and it occurred to him that what Sutasoma said was true. Sutasoma had once been his teacher, but through thick and thin had never abandoned him as a friend. Even threatened with his life, Sutasoma had never given up on trying to persuade him to return to the righteous pathway in life. Sutasoma had tried to preserve their friendship against all odds. The man-eater thought, "I promise to grant any request asked of me, even if it costs me my life. Everyone has to die someday, but if I were to die today without compromising the truth of my words or my debt of gratitude to my teacher, what fears can death hold for me?" Having made his difficult decision, he bowed at the feet of King Sutasoma and said tearfully,
I couldn't bear to live without human flesh. That's why I have come to live in this forest. But if your majesty insists that you will not change your request, I will grant it, even on the pain of my own death.
Man-eater, as you are one who maintains the truth even on pain of death, I have one further request to ask of you, if you still love me. Kindly keep the 5 precepts from this day forth.
Since I have already relinquished my life to you, keeping the 5 precepts would not add to my burden. I will keep the 5 precepts for as long as my life lasts.
King Sutasoma then gave him the 5 precepts, insisting that he keep them unblemished, because the 5 precepts would protect his reputation. He said, once others learn that the man-eater now keeps the 5 precepts, their terror will be allayed. Their anger and vengefulness at your past deeds will be forgiven. You will regain their respect. For this reason, keep the precepts as dearly as you would preserve your own life.